Hey you guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing pretty good. I am awesome. And I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day and, got the kids to do a bunch of stuff for you and all that. I certainly did. Um, my mom and I both got yard work done, so that was good. Yeah, so I have these cookbooks that I've been wanting to make into journals, and hang on one second. So anybody who follows me and follows my work and that kind of stuff, you know that I have a hard time making just one or two of something, right? So I, over the last couple years have acquired a number of these little cookbooks with the wire binding. And so I had I think 11 altogether. And my intention was to make them all into some journals. And, I got a bunch of stuff together to do them. And I don't know, for some reason I just lost steam on them. But I had been collecting all this stuff that I wanted to use in them. And so I just figured, why not make them into a kit, and then you guys can make your own. And, maybe I will make a couple of them. I saved out a couple for myself. My daughter-in-law wants one, and so, I might be working on doing that in between other projects or something. So if I do, I will definitely try to video whatever I'm doing, or, maybe do some stuff on the live stream or something. So anyways, I definitely need to show you what's in these kits, because there's tons of stuff in them. And, I have a tendency to go kind of overboard. And if Renee at GT Designs is watching, I think you know what I mean, because I feel like you have the same issue. And I actually am very inspired by her kits. They're just so complete, you know what I mean? And I feel like she just really takes a lot of time to pull things from her stash that are really special. And so anyway, so she's inspiring to me as far as building kits and stuff. And so that's kind of what I've done. Pretty much everything involved with these is going to be cookbook related. Okay. The fabrics and stuff are like tablecloths and ginghams and laces and things like that, like lace tablecloths that I've cut apart, table runners, things that have to do with house and home and kitchen. So let's get into it, and I'll show you what's in them. Okay. They're gonna have to ship in a priority box, and to get the weight right on them, in case I sell any of these to internationally, I needed to make the weight accurate in the listing so that I didn't run into any trouble in shipping them offshore. So the listing is going to charge US customers for, I think it's charging like full rate on a priority shipment, because it comes up to like $17.95 or something, right? Well, I just want you to know that a flat rate, these will fit in a medium flat rate box. I don't need to put them in a large box. So that means that you'll get a $5 credit, okay, on shipping. And that's just the way I'm going to have to do it. I was going to just make an adjustment in the pricing to kind of make up for it, but I wanted to be really straightforward with you guys about the pricing and stuff, and I didn't want it to be, you know what I'm saying? Like I was going to just adjust the price down on the bundle, but then I couldn't do that really with international customers. So I'll just expect a $5 credit on shipping if you purchase one of these kits, okay? Because they're not going to cost me $18 to ship. They'll cost me $13. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to let you know. And I don't know why it wouldn't let me change it. So anyways, so this is the fabric pack, and pretty much everything is the same in each kit as far as the fabrics go, except for the apron. Okay, each one is going to have a vintage apron. They're all different. You know, all the aprons are different. But it is one complete apron. Some of them are not cotton like this one. Some of them are like a, you know, like a sheer fabric. So yeah, just be aware of that. So you're going to get like a surprise on your apron. But they're all really cute. You know, they're all vintage. They're all super cute. They've all got pockets and really cute trims and stuff on them that you can use, and you know. So anyways, so each one has a little pack of laces and trims. Okay, and these are, you know, like I said, either these, like this one is from Tablecloth that I cut apart. These are from some doilies that I disassembled. There's a little pansy and some little flower shapes. There's another little round piece. This is really pretty. I thought this would make a great little pocket. And then just a whole bunch of different vintage laces. And a lot of these are probably 70s, 60s, and 70s. Yeah. Some of them are cotton, some are not. But, yeah, they're all super cute. And, you know, I just pulled out, you know, a piece, whatever it was, and cut it into 8 pieces, because however long that made them, that's what I did. Because I did 8 kits, so you kind of get the idea, right? So this is like a ladder trim, some yellow, some blue. This is actually off of some kind of garment. It's like an eyelet. And this was a tablecloth. So you get a pretty healthy piece of that. Oh, okay. This is why I wound up short on one of the packs, because I accidentally put 2 of the same piece in this kit. So I'm glad I opened this one. You only get 1 of those. Yeah, so just, you know, little pieces. This is just a roll of some kind of, you know, trim that I picked up somewhere. So, okay, so that's all the laces and stuff. And let me get it back in this bag. This kit that I'm showing you is actually number 8. I just have them numbered in my shop. And then I used the same images for the fabric pack and the this stuff and this. Okay, so I used the same images. So if there are some slight variations, then that's why, because, you know, I think I used the images from kit 1 in the listings for all of them. So, and this is the actual fabrics. Some of these are vintage. A lot of them are vintage, but I'm not going to say all of them are. So you're going to get a piece of this eyelet. And this is a vintage tablecloth. And some of these I cut into like a strip, a long strip, so that in case you wanted to use them as a binder or like, you know, on the binding. I tried to give you some options there. And this is just like a heavy cotton, some red bandana. It's like, you know, I always forget what this stuff is called. This was a tablecloth. So yeah, see? So some longer pieces. This was another tablecloth. It's just a smallish piece, about that size. Piece of this red check, and like, you know, lots of farmhousey types of fabrics. And if you've ever bought one of my other like farmhouse style kits or whatever, these fabrics look really familiar. So these are all pieces of gingham that are, let's see, that size. Okay. So you get purple, pink, red, orange, like a beige and black, and then a green. This was a tablecloth. This is from a tablecloth, this daisy pattern. It's another tablecloth. This is just like a longer, not super long, but it's like long-ish kind of strip. This is another strip. This is a tablecloth. It's another tablecloth. Some kind of like, you know, floral stuff on it. And then I did some ticking in this one, in this kit. There's some red. This is like a duck cloth, heavy duck cloth type of ticking, as is that one. This one's a little bit lighter weight than that red one and blue one, and then so is this kind of beige colored one. And then I gave you some pieces of quilt top. These are all vintage quilt tops. These are hand stitched. All these little 1-inch squares are hand stitched together. I mean, it's like craziness. This is another piece of quilt top. And then a pretty healthy piece of a flour sack. Okay, so there's some discoloration on them and that kind of stuff, but you know, these things are old, these flour sacks. Not feed sack, but flour sack. Okay, so you get a pretty good size pack of fabrics, and all of them are very, very useful, I think. You know, tabs and pockets and even pages and embellishments, and I think it would all look really, really cute in a, you know, farmhouse style type of journal. So, okay, so that's the fabrics. All right, and this stuff all goes into another bag. Sorry about the noise, you guys. All right. So there's that. Okay, and then this is kit number 8, like I said. So there are a couple of doubles as far as the books go. The primary book. And I'll talk to you about how I was dealing with that also. With the books, I mean. So since I was intending to actually make these journals, I had already started kind of taking them apart. Okay. So like I've already taken that wire binding out, but I left all the pages for each book in the cover. Okay, so you get the full book, you get the complete book, but it's got the wire binding removed. Okay, so you could, you know, cut this out, make it into a ring bound journal, or, you know, you could expand that somehow, which is what I was planning to do. I was going to cut it down the center and then, or like cut both sides off, stitch that onto another spine and then make a wider spine. There's lots of different ways that you could deal with that. So, but I think that is pretty cute too. So, I mean, if you just wanted to make it this thickness, you could do that. It's just that they're not very thick. They're like a 1/2 inch. And then you're going to get a little stack of, these are French fry bags. I think there's like 3 or 4. A couple of just white paper bags. This is a baguette bag. So, you know, lots of different possibilities with that. These are wax paper bags. These are not glassine bags, but wax paper bags. Just a couple of white gift bags. A couple of currency envelopes. And then I did like just an assortment of different envelopes, because my thinking was to put, you know, dividers and envelopes and things like that for people to just clip and save recipes in these. So, you know, this is kind of the route I was going to take with them. So that's just the kind of stuff that I put in them. So you get you know, mostly like cream color envelopes. Each one got a purple one, and then I did some security envelopes. I think, you know, 3 or 4. A couple of like watercolor paper weight cream color envelopes, and then 3 or 4 like large envelopes. So you could cut these, you could collage on them, you could do all kinds of different things with those. And then I got into my doily box, my paper doily box, and I just, you know, I hardly use doilies anymore. And so I just, you know, went through them, and I just kind of split a whole bunch of them out amongst these kits. So you're going to get tons of paper doilies. And I feel like paper doilies definitely go with the cookbook theme, because that's what they're intended for, is like for cooking. This is like a stack of about 4 together. I got tired of trying to separate them, so I just left them together. And then there's a couple of these that are really pretty, these larger ones. This one I had to fold it in half. It just didn't make sense not to. It would have gotten messed up anyways. And then this one, I really like that one too. And then I went with some wallpapers. These are very, very 70s wallpapers. You know, just because the kitchens are wallpapered, right? Just makes sense to do wallpaper. And the colors really go well, I think, with these books. So lots of wallpaper samples. And then I had a whole bunch of old cookbooks, just really old beat up cookbooks, you know, from that same era. Well, actually, most of these are like 40s. Most of these old cookbooks are from the 40s and early 50s. But, you know, so I just gutted them all, and then I split the pages out from each book amongst all 8 kits. So you're going to get book pages from like 8 or 10 different old cookbooks in each one of these kits, okay? So each one gets, you know, a sampling of all those old cookbooks. And there was a lot of images in them. So I tried to make sure that, you know, each one got some images for sure. And there's even some Japanese cookbooks that were kind of cool. Oh my goodness. Let me get this in here. It's hard to get this back in there once, because you got the sticky part that's open now. Okay. Okay, so that's the, I don't know, like book part with the envelopes and doilies and stuff. And then this is the like paper pack. So I didn't do any like scrapbook paper in these. I just figured, you know, everybody has scrapbook paper. So I just chose to do those book pages and other types of ephemera, you know. So each kit has a minimum of 2 like cooking kitchen related pamphlets, okay? So one of them is going to be very vintage, usually from the 30s or 40s, and then the other one is going to be like 60s or 70s era, okay? So you get a couple of pamphlets. And then I have a bunch of handwritten recipe cards that I've scanned. And so I just printed those out in a few different sizes so that you can use them, you know, in your journals. And then I have this one binder cookbook. It wasn't like a Betty Crocker 5-ring binder. It was just this 2-ring binder book that I got, you know, and it just had a ton of all these recipes that some lady had collected, you know. And so I just dealt them out, you know, into these kits. And, you know, there's some interesting things in here. But she had written a lot of recipes, and look at all this tape. I love this old, look at, she has beautiful handwriting, you know. So you get a number of pages from her like handmade cookbook. It's pretty cool. And actually I was looking at some of the recipes and they look pretty good. She was a junk journaler. Look at that. Like she was clipping pictures and pasting them and stuff like that. So then I also took, oh, these were the dividers that were in her cookbook. Okay, so you get at least one of those. Oh, and then some of these pages were in the front of her cookbook too. So I added those. And then I took dividers from all of my like 5-ring binders that I've taken apart, and I just gave you like a little selection of them. So like 4 different ones, different colors. And then, you know, just some random book pages from Lord knows where. This is a cookbook. And then I did a bunch of these recipe cards, these oversized ones that I've had for a long time. So you get some of those, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10. And then this was, this is another cookbook. This is one of my favorites because the way that it's printed, it looks kind of cool to cut these out and then actually just stitch them onto like an index card or glue them onto an index card. So I love those. And then this cookbook, it looks like it's all handwritten. So that I really love. And so you get, you know, quite a few pages from that book. I can't remember what the name of the book is, but it's a neat like spiral bound book. So then you get signatures from those other cookbooks, okay? So, you know, there's one, this one has a, this is just like a space for notes. This was a smaller cookbook. So there's 2, and then another signature with the like index tab there. 3 soups, chowders, and burgers. And all of these have different texture of paper, you know, so I thought that was pretty cool. And, you know, you can make tags out of these, you know, glue a couple of them together and use them to make your pages or whatever, you know, lots of different options. And then it's all cooking related. So I thought that was pretty cool. Lots of book pages from those old cookbooks, okay? And then these are some like narrower ones from this other interesting one. And then these are the Japanese cookbooks. There was a couple of different ones that I took apart. So these are really old too. These are like, I couldn't read the date, but I'm gonna guess probably 40s. You know, just based on like the photography and stuff. So yeah, lots of images from those Japanese cookbooks. And then this is where these thinner pages came out of one of these books. I can't remember. But these are Dinner in a Dish and something else. These are both Betty Crocker cookbooks. So you get, you know, like a little bundle of pages from 2 other like larger wire-bound Betty Crocker cookbooks. Okay, and then this stuff all came from another, just like a binder, just cookies and just different recipes and stuff. And I thought it was cool because these are all recipes that you could cut out and, you know, use for making your own recipe cards and things like that. So, okay, so you get a nice little stack of ephemera and book pages to use to create your journals. And, you know, add on, you know, to add in with like scrapbook papers and things like that. Okay, I'm gonna try to get these back in here without making too much drama. or destroying anything. All right, I did it. Okay, so that's bag number 3. And then this little bundle so these are price tags from a grocery store, and I have scanned them and printed them and cut them out for you. So you get, I don't know, like 10 of them, and these are the same. They're just a different, you know, kind of style. So you get, you know, 4 or 5 of those. And then I added some Rolodex cards just because usually people have their Rolodex in the kitchen, right? No, I don't know. And then this is a recipe box dividers. There's like 3 of those. We have this grocery store here in Spokane. It's called Rosars. And so, you know, somebody must have collected recipe cards from Rosars because there's a couple of them that were in one of those books. And then you get a stack of these recipe cards. So I went through one of my recipe boxes, those old, you know, vintage recipe boxes. They're from the 70s, I think, most of them, and they're all categorized. So I pulled out a bunch of different categories and then I sorted them out. So you didn't get like all desserts or all salads. You got like a variety of different categories. And then I did like a little selection of different guest checks that I have in my shop. And so you're going to get like 4 or 5 different styles of guest checks, okay? It's probably about 20 or 25 maybe. And then I have just so many index cards. I just added a couple stacks of index cards in each pack. Okay, so this stuff all goes in here. And then last but not least, this little collection. There's 4 different colors of baker's twine in here. So green, black, blue, and red. Okay, so you get about 1.5 yards of each color. It was like 5 times wrapped around my hand. And then about 18 or so different color garment pins or bulb pins or gourd pins, whatever you want to call them. And then I gave you 4 binder rings because I felt like 2 rings would work on that journal. And then if you wanted to make another ring bound journal with that other cookbook cover, you could. Or you could use 3 rings on the small one, and then you could have another one to make just like a card journal with or something. Anyways, that's how I came up with 4. And then just a collection of buttons. These are old vintage buttons. So I made sure you got some big ones, different sizes, different colors. There are some shanked buttons in here. You know, just a handful out of my big box, and then I hand-picked some of the larger ones out of another box that I have where I have big buttons. So okay, so that is the kit. And I do want to, you know, just let you guys know that I am really sorry that my, you know, my YouTube presence has been somewhat meager lately. I just had a lot of stuff going on, and I just haven't felt extremely sociable. And so that's what's going on. That's the truth of it. And I just want you guys to know that, because I know that, you know, you guys you guys care about me a little bit, and I just want you to know it's not because I don't have any energy or anything like that. I've just really been trying to focus on getting some work done and processing things in my head. So so that's what's going on. But you know, I'll work through it, and I'll be back making some videos here hopefully pretty soon. Okay. So yeah, so these are listed in my shop right now. Like I said, I will be doing I'm actually doing all my shipping tonight. So in case you ordered a journal and you're seeing this video, just, you know, don't think I haven't forgotten you. I'm doing all my shipping tonight, so it'll go out tomorrow. But yeah, but these kits are going to ship priority mail, and I'll give you a $5 credit on each order. So anyway, I already explained that, so hopefully you're okay with it. But yeah, check them out. And if you have any questions or anything, or if you'd like to see more pictures of a particular kit or something, I'm happy to take pictures of them and send them to you directly. You know, I don't have a problem with that at all. And like I said, I might be doing some kind of like tutorial stuff with these as I work, you know, as I work on them. So, but yeah, I do obviously, you know, you guys know I have lots of other stuff going on too. So I'm doing my best here. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. And I love you. Okay, bye for now.